Oh, man. Big noise.
So, let's start with the most recent piece of business, that Edmond North game. Talk to me about that. You know, how did y'all feel about that atmosphere, that matchup, which was highly anticipated, right? In my opinion, the two best girls programs that I've seen this season, and it was like that was y'all's very last regular season game, right? Mm-hmm. That had to be on purpose. So walk me through that, the emotions, the adrenaline, all of that. What went into that night? Y'all can whichever one of y'all want to get first.
It was very exciting. Honestly, when they did tell us about it, it was kind of like, oh, big game. Like everybody was like, oh, everybody's gonna be there. So like even people from school, I had a couple teachers tell me about. They heard about it. But when we did get there, a lot of emotions. Just it was kind of like a roller coaster of emotions because from start, literally like how the way we started to the way we finished, and like in between there, especially fourth quarter. It just was a lot, but it was fun though. Like it was really fun, but it was just a lot.
A whole lot. Yeah. What about you? What'd you take from it, Miss? Game face over there.
Well, it just reminded me of playoffs, so I felt like that was a good game to have before we actually went into it. Yes, it was emotional. Like my emotions was up, down. Like in the crowd, like they was just talking a lot of smack. I mean, it was just loud in there, but I mean overall, it was a good game. It was fun to play in, but the emotions had me going crazy.
Those are those ones, though. What about you, Micah?
Yeah, the atmosphere was definitely crazy. It was like a state game, and that really got us ready. It's getting us ready for state. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun game, to be honest.
I'm gonna tell you, it was wild. I only hear noise, just like everybody screaming, hollering. But I didn't know that they were talking reckless, so it was getting chippy out there.
Oh yes.
Like, hold on, just during the game or even leading up?
The student leading up, we didn't really hear a lot because I think kind of like the parents and coaches kind of they just told us was like, okay, it's a big game. They talking. Man, student section, I think I did something and they were just going hard. Like they said, what? They talking about forehead, like your forehead thing. Then they were like,
"You not gonna play at Baylor?"
Like they were like, they need to unsign you at Baylor. Like they need to, like they was going so hard. Student section was definitely live.
Dropping bombs.
Every time I was like rolling the ball, it was like pick up the ball. You know, other words, but.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, getting a little colorful with the language.
Yes.
Did you hear any of it too?
Yeah, I heard like what they were saying to Darianna, but other than that, no.
Nothing was directed at you, huh?
No, I didn't really hear anything.
It was loud, but it was like you could block it out easily.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I'm glad you said that because, as y'all know, y'all play, I coach, right? And so I know y'all have heard coaches tell you all the time, block out the noise. That's a lot easier to say than to actually do. Especially when they say something like, come on, you gonna come in my forehead for real? You gonna unsign me? Golly. I'm gonna tell you what else I looked at. I looked at y'all's bench. Are y'all less than 10 deep right now?
Yes.
7.
I think.
And 6 really play for real.
Yeah.
Got you.
And I think sometimes you might think 10 because we have our managers and some other people like just suit up just in case. But yeah, 6. The 6 play, but we have 7. So.
Yo, how rough is that? You know what I mean? A lot of people say y'all don't have a lot of depth, but y'all front line is real strong.
Yeah.
Yes.
So y'all don't really feel it like that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely difficult because you feel it after a while, especially playing Emmett North. Like, getting down on them and trying to come back, like, our bodies were exhausted. But, I mean, it has taught us a lot, though, having that many players. Like, to depend on each other. We play differently, play smart, play for each other. So we've learned a lot only having so many players.
Has it been that light the whole season? Y'all been 6 or 7 deep since game 1?
Yes.
Okay, so what's that about? We got some injuries that we factor in?
Yeah, injuries.
All right. So now, how do y'all simulate live action in practice with such a small number?
We scrimmaged the freshman boys.
Putting hands on them.
Yeah.
Sometimes Coach Jim brings, like, one of the girls named Whitney. Like, she plays for on the high school team. But, to have some people at practice, she come. We had, like, an 8th grader come. So that's how we try to get some depth on the court.
Getting that work in. Okay. Now, I'm going to bounce around a lot because I'm interested in y'all. I know y'all a little bit, but only so far. And this is my first encounter with you. But when did y'all first find sports? And was it always only basketball from the beginning?
For me, my mom, at a young age, she put me in like the YMCA sports. So I did soccer, t-ball. I don't really think she pushed basketball, but I think because my dad and like my sister, my sister's in college, I used to watch her play. A lot of my family members played basketball, so eventually I'm pretty sure she thought like, okay, she'll get to it, and then eventually it just kind of like, oh, I want to play, and then I got there, and then it just continued from there. So.
So you were what, like, you remember what age you were when you first started playing? Organized?
3rd grade, so like 8. Yeah.
That's not bad. What about you, Micah? When did it start for you?
Yeah, I was in the YMCA. My mom put me in that, and then I was really heavy on track when I was growing up. And then I transferred over to basketball. Just watching my sister, she played at PC North, so watching her play really inspired me to play. And then I played serious AAU, I think, going into 5th grade.
Yeah, so then what, the Big 10, 11-ish right there. What about you?
I did cheer and dance first, and then like my 3rd grade summer, I did like volleyball, Parks and Recreation, basketball, nothing really too big. I remember we played Vietnam our first game, and we got smacked. But
Hold up.
But then like serious AAU, like my 4th grade summer, I got on like Oklahoma Select, and that's when it just kind of took off. Watching my dad play, my brother play, that made me want to play.
Were y'all good early on, or was it a late start, a slow start for some of y'all, as it pertains to basketball now?
I don't think we were, I wouldn't say just right out the box like, oh, I'm just, doing this and that. But I think a lot of stuff for us, or at least me, like little details, like usually are like little kids don't pick up on that. I think we just did those things. So like, and then eventually, you grow up and then you have your parents to tell you, like, okay, that's right. But I think just growing up, like, I'm not saying we had the whole just deal or whatever, but I think like just little stuff. Like my stepdad used to tell me, it's crazy. I'm right-handed, but I make majority of my left-handed shots. So my stepdad and my mom, they picked that up like at an early age. Like you only do that. You're what, 8? Like that's crazy. So just little stuff like picked up on, and then it just. And
let you know she gonna be something.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you take off quickly with it, or did it take a minute?
I took off kind of quickly. Just watching my sister, and then at my grandma's house, we'll play outside with the boys and stuff.
Yeah.
So just doing like spin moves and stuff like that. I was trying to be like them. So yeah.
That's hard. What about you, yo?
I feel like it took me some time, but not a lot. I feel like when I first started playing, I was doing everything. Rebounding, dribbling, shooting, passing. So like, I feel like I was like playing with not such good competition. Like that taught me how to do multiple things on the court and not just one thing. But I feel like I definitely peaked at the right time. Not too early, not too late. So.
Right on time.
Yeah.
I always ask that question because I was interested in knowing what your confidence level was, and based on y'all's breakdown, it told me that y'all had some belief in yourselves early on. I didn't, so I'm jealous. But I get it. I respect that. Okay, so your dad, I know him. Your dad, I know him. I don't know your folks, but we finna find out. How hard were they on y'all once they realized that, okay, this is what you say you want to do, and once they see that, okay, you actually pretty good at it? Did they go up a notch when it came to pushing you? Or were you always driving this bus?
I think some of it was I did. Like, I wanted to do it, but not only did I have my dad, my stepdad, he's also a high school coach, and I think when they realized that, they did push a lot harder, like on the little stuff we're gonna do. Like it wasn't just to put everything out there and do it at once, but like just okay, you can't do that. I'm pretty sure they saw at a young age like she gonna be pretty good, so let's just. But just they definitely pushed me hard, and then I got to THSS with Coach Corey and a few other coaches, and they definitely went even harder. Like, hey, at the next level, you're gonna have this. So they pushed all this. Couldn't not necessarily mess up, but they were like, hey, detail. So.
That's big. What about you, yo?
Yeah, I feel like once my dad really figured out that I was like actually gonna be good at it, he was like, okay, let me put a little bit more effort in. Cause at first I was just training right after my brother trained for like 5 minutes, and then the time kept increasing. But they definitely did push me harder, but they didn't push me too hard to where I feel like I wanted to like not play no more. Like they definitely kept us balanced, I feel like, and that's why I thought we still playing to right now, because they didn't push too hard, but they definitely didn't let us just do whatever we want. Like we made sure we were doing what we're supposed to do.
We're gonna do it right.
Right,
huh?
yes.
Talk to me, Micah.
My parents definitely pushed me hard, but just even watching my sister play, they pushed her even to the extreme. So
Harder than they did you?
yes, harder than they did me. So just watching how they pushed her, I was just like, okay, I need to focus. If I want to be great at this, let me do it right. But just definitely, just my dad pushed me, especially in workouts. So
Yeah. One-on-ones, you can't escape.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
I'm gonna tell you what I got a memory of when I was playing in middle school, and even sometimes in high school. Like I would pray that my mother and my father would drive separate vehicles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So after the game, Mama, I'm with you. Can y'all identify with that at all?
Oh yes.
Oh,
Oh
my
yes.
goodness.
But I rode my dad to get it over with.
Yeah.
Like I wanted, as soon as I hit that court, get out that court, go to him, get my little talk, and I can enjoy the rest of my day.
There you go. As soon as I go home, okay, we done.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But you know what? That was a good segue by you when you mentioned the THSS Mavs. Okay, so y'all all three played together for that organization at one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
How far back do y'all go?
Well, we played against each other like our whole lives, literally. Like
Yeah.
at one point in time, me and Mike were on the same team, but we always played against Jordan. My team was really good, but like it seemed like we never really had competition until we played Jordan's team. So since then, but like sixth grade, it's been tight. Like it's been us three. We went to Independence Charter Middle School and best out, like hands down. We got I don't count our sixth grade year because we didn't start varsity because we would have been undefeated, but we were undefeated our 3 year, seventh and eighth grade year, and we got 2 banners. So like my coach was like, "We'll make a deal. If y'all can go undefeated, I'll get you a banner." So we did that 7th grade year. So we got us one, and then we did it again 8th grade year, and we just we got our 2 up there.
They got the 2 banners up there. Historic, huh? So, and this, I'm gonna just lob this out there for all of y'all. And anytime, y'all are pretty mature, I can tell, for your age. We can tell y'all been around the block a time or two, and I mean that in a good way. But it's not easy for teenagers to like keep their feet on the ground when you got people singing your praises all the time. And y'all been really good for a little while, so I'm pretty sure y'all have heard every compliment there is. How do you not let some of that seep in to where you get to like feeling yourself a little bit too much?
I have to say our parents, like where we came from, like they don't allow us to get big-headed. I mean, we're not that type of like girl anyway.
Right.
Like, I mean, we still got stuff we want to do in life, and we're not like satisfied with what we have already done. So I think that helps us a lot. Like we do get complimented a lot, and we do appreciate it because there's a lot of people that don't want to see us do good, but we still got an end goal that we're trying to get. So.
Spoken like a true politician, right? but that's real though. Now, what about the other side of things? To your point, I do hear some of the naysayers out there. You know what I mean? And folks who have not so flattering opinions about y'all. And I don't have a problem with it when it's basketball related, but when it seems like it's taking that left turn and it's going personal sometimes, I'm like, well, do you know these people personally? You know what I mean? What about you? Does it ever bother you at all what's being said, or do you pay any attention one way or the other?
I don't pay any attention because I know who I am. I know like how hard I work, and just staying humble, to be honest. Like on the next level, you want to work to be better there. So just staying humble, working hard, and just blocking out the noise.
Blocking out that noise. At this level though, what's left for y'all to do? You got all the individual accolades. People know. Say it. Talk to me.
State.
Okay.
Yes. Nothing else comes, but that's the focus right now.
Now you saying to get there or?
No, everything. It's starting in practice. I remember telling him today, like, wait, you can't mess up. Not mess up, but like we don't need to take anything off. Like everything goes towards state right now. Like lead it. We can't. I think we learned that from last year. We didn't downplay anybody, but sometimes when people are like, "Oh my God, you're gonna win. Are you gonna win?" It doesn't get to you, but it's like, "Oh my God, like we have to do good." So just doing those like little details and like staying focused one game at a time for real, like that's gonna help us stay grounded, because it's like you have to, like we can't get to the next game until we finish this one, and like we're gonna have tough games, and then we can't downplay people, like, and then especially this year we have like she said, 6 people. Yeah. We can't take anything for granted. Like, hey, we got to go out like everybody's Steph Curry or something.
Yeah, you go.
That's really we're gonna run into, but just not take anything off for real.
Almost like tricking yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so I hate to snatch the Band-Aid off, but what happened last year? Y'all's last game. Who put you out? What round? I know you got to the state tournament, but did y'all lose in the first round or the second round? Break it down.
We lost in the first round.
Who got you?
We lost to Fort Gibson, and they're actually on our side for the area championship. So we hope to see them again, cause
Yeah.
you already know.
Got some unfinished business?
Yeah, but I feel like last year, like we kind of we started off good, and then when it got close to state, we started getting a little shaky. Like we barely won area, and then going into round 1, I feel like we could have been more focused and locked in. So I'm making sure this year, like we gonna be locked in regardless. Like any game, anybody, we gonna be locked in. I won't let that happen again.
What's your takeaway from that particular game, the elimination game? Even though you got one more round to go as juniors, and I'm pretty sure people said that to you, it's like it ain't no guarantee that you're gonna get right back. So you want to cash in. So when that game is over with, how you feeling? From what you remember, anyway.
I mean, we started off like really slow, like Jay said, but just I don't know. It was just like it's like that feeling, like it's not right. Like we need to get back to where we was supposed to get, but it wasn't a like good feeling like going into that game. So yeah.
So from the gate, it was different.
Yes.
You feel the same way about that one?
Yeah, I think it's definitely the focus. I think Evan North is good that we did play them, because it's like if we lock down on them and take what we need to do, like from that game and put it forth, we'll be good. But yeah, focus, nothing else but focus.
I'm gonna give y'all the benefit of a little bit of doubt. I think basketball at the high school level, I think that's the longest running sports season that there is. Like, you got football, they play 10 games, and then any other sport is in the spring, so it's only like maybe 2-3 months. You locked in basketball from the game started in November all the way to March.
We was locked in at August 1st, because my coach, like I don't think we did it last year, but I think sophomore year, like he was like October 1st, he was like, and we started on like maybe a Thursday or something, or Wednesday. Oh, on Monday, get ready. So it's not even a November 1st. It's when school starts, season starts. So
that's right, and that's a long time to be dialed in. So I understand it can get a little taxing mentally, and you don't even feel it.
Yeah.
Like they say lock in, but it's like, yo, we've been doing it for 4 months. I can't lock in no locked than I'm locked. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so fast forwarding back to this year, and I'm gonna be realist. I'm gonna be a realist about it. Y'all have not only won the majority of your games, but a lot of them you've been putting hands on people. So what goes into like getting your bacon sizzling for the next game when you see that opponent that you probably getting ready to roll up? How does that battle test you for a game like what y'all played at Evan North? You see what I'm saying? That's tough, in my mind anyway.
Yeah. I would just have to say, like, it's always something leading up to a game. Like somebody saying something, every game. So I feel like we try to keep that in our mind. Sometimes we make up scenarios in our head just to make ourselves mad. I know I do that.
Oh, that's some Michael Jordan type of stuff with you.
Like if they didn't say it, I'm just gonna act like they said it. So I feel like that gets us hype, get our energy. Yeah. And we just try to like when we get mad, that's not a good sight for everybody. So we try to make ourselves mad from the get go.
Yeah.
What about you, Smiley? What did it take to get you mad?
I just feel like even with the Evan North game, like y'all called us out, so like that's even like on top of this stuff, like that's even like okay, y'all wanted some of us, so here we are. So I felt like that was like, get us riled up for the game.
I didn't know that, so that really happened.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know what? Even there's a part of that I can respect, though. When it comes to competition, if you want to say that, it ain't no guarantee that it's gonna happen for you. But let's see. Okay, when it's over with, boom. So now we're gonna talk about that game. Am I right? But it didn't seem like you took a shot in the first half.
No, didn't even. Like I got the shots I wanted. They just was not hitting. Like I remember I don't even remember. And it was like a layup. I got it. Didn't even go in. I think it hit the backboard. And I'm just like.
Man, listen, I was like, oh, this is a slow leak right here.
Yeah.
Boy.
Now, what were those huddles like in those timeouts, right? Because you're looking at each other. We know you've been here before. Y'all, she's been there. You've been rocking with her the whole time. So I don't think it's fear. But what do you think it took? Was it just like a rut? Or it's like, whoa, I'm a little overwhelmed. Let me settle in before I get my rhythm so we can finally make this push. What in the hell brought y'all back?
We didn't have any doubt. I feel like we were stumped like 11-0. Like that's crazy for us. But like we knew like we're in this game, like we got it, like. So I think us really locking in and like, for us, I say like our energy, like we started getting on each other. Hey, take this, do this, and we started seeing stuff, and we're like, no, like this, get the little stuff, and then I just think when we did start scoring, our emotion that we showed, it helped a lot because it's like just play by play. Like Jordan did get her and one. That's okay. She got an and one. We all started getting okay. That's up. That's something. That's something. So we just kind of started feeding off each other. Whether it just be that bucket, and then or like the and or anything. So I think just feeding off each other got us up. We already knew like that's not right, like that's not us. So I think we went in the locker room halftime, like there wasn't any screaming, yelling, like we were just like, yo, like okay, we see stuff. This is what we need to do. Like okay, what do you see? And it's just we kind of just went off that, and we started locking in, and then. When we did start scoring, we just okay. It's gonna take. We didn't rush it a lot. I say because. And we knew, like, if we did rush it, we knew, like, okay, we weren't going to get the stuff we wanted. Like, so I just think us really getting on each other. And sometimes it might seem like to other people on the outside, like, oh, they're yelling at you. No, it's a, hey, like, we got this. Like, let's come on. Like, we know what you can do type thing.
It's respect in it.
Yeah.
So was that always been an easy thing for y'all to do? Because it's one thing to be on the giving side of that whenever you giving somebody some words because they're not hooking it up. Mm-hmm. But what happens when it's your turn? You know, you slacking, and then one of your ladies got to come at you with some energy that ain't so sweet. Like, how do you take that?
It's not personally.
Yeah, it's not personal.
Has it always been easy to take it, though, or was it like, hold up?
I think
it's like a push. Like, okay, let me get myself together. Like, let me do this for my team. So.
I think it's because we also have a really good chemistry with each other. So it's never a. She doesn't like me, she thinks so I think just our chemistry is also a big part of it because it's like we know what you can do, like we believe in each other so much. So
on a personal level, because it seems like y'all are friends.
Yeah.
That always, I think it makes, like when you like the people you have to go to work with, I think that makes work a little easier, a little more tolerant. Okay, so how rough, or if rough at all in y'all's opinion, has it been to be the top dog? Because, see, the underdog role is easier to me. Like, when nobody sees you coming, you can sneak up on folks and just take the world by storm. But y'all coming through everybody's front door. Like, they know who you are before you even pull up on the grounds. So how has that been?
I feel like it's always a challenge because everybody's going to give you their best. Mm-hmm. But they're going to give you your best, like, the first 2 quarters of the game. And then once you've seen it, then it's our turn. Like, we're third quarter players or second half players. So once they give us, their best shot, then we're like, okay, we see what y'all can do. Now we're going to adjust and do what we do. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I just feel like it hasn't been super hard, but it's not the easiest thing. Mm-hmm. But we want it just as bad as they do, regardless if they don't have the same record as we do or people don't know them as well. Like, we want it too. And I feel like we never change our mindset. We never get too chill about anything because we don't want to lose. Like, we don't like losing. We don't take losing easy. So, I mean, we want it just as much as they do, probably even more. So, that's what I say.
That's a good enough answer for me. You mentioned something before we got started. You going to ask me about hobbies? I want to know. Now, because y'all got a lot of personality, I can tell. And y'all are really good at basketball, no doubt about it. But you're human beings, too. So what could somebody catch Jordan, Micah, Darianna doing off the clock, outside of the gym? Some of the stuff that you would call fun, that you get some fulfillment from.
I would say me hanging out with my friends, shopping, eating somewhere. Yeah. I like to do that stuff. Just hanging out, wherever that may be at.
Yeah. Flat out kicking it.
Right.
What about you, Micah?
Yeah, I say hanging out with my friends and family. Shopping, stuff like that.
Y'all spending somebody else's money.
Watching
Mom and dad is like, relax.
Yeah.
What about you, yo?
I wouldn't say it's a hobby because everybody does it, but you catch me sleeping. I go to sleep anywhere, anytime, anything. But besides sleep, I like to color. Like, it's very relaxing, but it can't be like the adult coloring books with all the extra. Like, you
Fair
could
enough.
get me like a strawberry picture that's basic, and I'll sit there for hours and color it. And
Big old kid. No, crayons or colored pencils?
crayons
respect
or markers.
Markers.
But sometimes I kind of got away from, like, you know how you do like the big you mark your outline and then you color.
Oh, yeah.
I usually just either it's a crayon or a marker, but just you really could catch me coloring. I color. I would go to coloring contest or something.
Yeah,
so.
and she can lock in. You staying
Yeah.
inside the lines, all right?
Of course,
Okay, I
that's
respect.
if I would get outside the lines, I don't think I'll finish it, honestly.
Rip that out, start another sheet. Okay, now I'm a foodie, right?
Yeah.
So as long as I'm awake, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna eat. So,
Right.
two things. What's your go-to meal when it comes to takeout? And then what's your go-to meal if your mom was to come in here and be like, hey, baby, I'm gonna make you whatever you want. Tell me what it is. Yeah.
Takeout, I like burgers and fries and ranch, wings and ranch, pizza and ranch.
Come on now. Love
If
it.
my mom's cooking, I would have to say it's a couple things I like that she make, but she make this. I don't even know what it's called, but it's like it go in like the little crock pot thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not.
Roast.
Yeah, I think it's roast, but I don't think it's. I don't know what it is, but it's that. It's real tender with
yeah,
some
yeah.
mashed potatoes and some mac and cheese.
Oh, come on now. That's legendary.
Yeah.
What about you, Micah? Since you were able to identify that, you were talking about pot roast.
Me for just takeout, probably the garage. I like the garage burgers and stuff.
I tore that down. a week
If
ago.
my mom's cooking, steak. Steak.
Look at you. How you like your steak?
Medium well.
I respect it. I can respect it.
For takeout for me, it'd be a cheeseburger. You can add a little, bacon,
Yeah.
onion, tomato, whatever, and some fries. But
Good. So you eat a burger like an adult. Thank you. Keep the vegetables on there.
yes. No lettuce though.
No lettuce.
But and if my mom had to cook, I don't know how she make. I don't know what all goes into it, but it's called a salmon croquette.
Ooh, yeah.
But I don't know how she makes it. Like she got it fried and stuff. But oh my goodness, if she could make that every day, I would eat it every day.
Like that.
Like that.
Moms, I hope y'all paying attention to what's going on this pod right now. Okay, now talk about some individual accomplishments. I'm gonna start with you, Micah. What's one of the accomplishments that you have as a basketball player thus far that you're most proud of?
Definitely the 1,000 points.
Yeah?
For sure, yeah.
That's major. That don't seem like a lot, but that's a lot of points, yo.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you cross that line? Which game? How many games ago did you get that?
I don't know how many games, but it was this year. What was that?
It was like before we went to Arizona.
Yeah, before we went to I got it in
yeah.
Arizona. I got it
Ooh.
in Arizona.
Did they honor that there too?
No.
No, they didn't. So you had to wait
Yeah,
till you
I
got
remember
your
it was like off of M1.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard. Okay, so, and don't you lie. You knew leading into that game how close you were?
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
It's because the game before, I thought I had got it, but they said I was 2 points behind. So I went into that game like, yeah, I'm going to get it.
2 points. That's easy work.
Yeah.
All right. Now, okay, let me ask you this. So, did you know before you were 2 points away?
Yes.
So, was it a number that could be gotten in a game?
Yes.
Before 2
It
points?
was,
What was the number?
It was 22 points.
22?
So I had 20, so yeah.
Okay, did you go in there like, yo, I gotta get this tonight?
Yeah, I told all of them, was like, yeah, I need this.
Now, y'all be honest. She didn't go crazy. She didn't trick the game off almost trying to get it?
No, she played regular.
That's
Yeah, it
what
was
I'm talking about.
easy.
That's hard. That's hard. Now, what about you? Gatorade, you know what I'm saying? Player of the year and all that. I just threw that out there. But which one means the most to you?
My McDonald's American one for sure. I think that's really big. For me, growing up seeing people get it, I was kind of like, I don't really know how you get it and I just kind of just wanted it. And then when I did figure out, like I was on the roster, like I was so geeked, but I was also kind of not scared, but I had went to a camp early before I found out. It was, I think, back in October. I went to this big camp, and there are a lot of people. A lot of people knew each other, and then like people like on the media and stuff, like they knew the players, and I was like, they're like, you from Oklahoma? I don't even know you, So I was kind of like, dang, like do I have a chance still, But I still did really good in that camp. Because some guy, like, he was like, oh, I want to take your picture from McDonald's American. I was like, okay, I'm in there. But I was still just a little nervous because sometimes it is about, like, who you know, kind of. And I was like, I don't know for sure. But, I mean, when I found out, yeah, I think I walked out of class. Yeah.
Oh, you found out at school?
Yes, it was
that's
like
hard.
at 2 o'clock. But it was like 2 o'clock, and I was like, okay, that ain't posted. And then it was crazy. Like, I remember I was supposed to take a test. So I was like, okay, let me sit down and take a test. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And then like I'm just okay taking the test, and I don't know what happened. I checked my phone. I was like, and it was like notification, Instagram, Twitter, and I looked like just tapped. I didn't see it fully, and it was like McDonald's American, and I was like, yeah. I think I told Micah. Yeah, I walked out. I was like, oh my God, they posted it. And I like walked out the room, and I guess Mike was like, "She made it," but I was like, "Don't tell me." And I just was cheesing like the whole day, just cheesing.
You walked out in the middle of the test.
I finished it. I made sure I finished the test, but after that, I was just cheesing all day. I was just.
Shout out to your supreme focus right there. I don't know if I've been able to start the test. If I know it's pending, we're gonna see what this is about.
Yeah.
That's congrats to the both of y'all on that. That's major.
Thank you.
Now we over to you, yo. Okay, so you remember the question I just asked her, right? When she knew that she was, did she go out there point hustling trying to get that 22? You got 76 points
74.
in a game? 74. Okay, way to correct me. I appreciate the honesty right there. So you get 74 points in a game individually. A lot of teams can't hang that as a team. What got into you?
Well, I mean, going into the game, I knew that they were going to look for me so I could get buckets because I really wanted to get 1,000 points.
Right.
And, we don't play great competition all the time. So, I mean, like, this could have happened, any day. But today, Coach Jim was like, okay, look for Jordan. And, I mean, they was passing it to me. I just kept shooting that bug, and it was going in. So, like, I know a lot of people are like, well, she wasn't playing nobody, blah, blah, blah. Like, I still had to make the shot. Yeah. And they kept looking for me. Like, that would never happen without my teammates. Like, as many times I got that ball, I was like, oh, God, okay. It's like one play because I'm not used to, like, being like the scorer. Like I'm always setting people up, so it was so weird being in that situation. And they were like, shoot it. I was like, okay, and it went in.
Yeah. Well, was it weird? You said it was weird for you at first gunning them, right? At what point did it get comfortable? It's like, you know what, I'm in that mode, I'm locked in.
I think it was like the second quarter. It was actually down there. I had like 4 in a row. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just keep striping this one.
At what point did you lose count, or did you know exactly throughout that whole game what you were at as far as your point total?
I didn't necessarily keep track, but like some people on our bench did, and they were just kind of staying there here and there. And then I was just like, oh dang, 74, like that was the final. I was like, okay.
Did you finish the game?
Did I finish the game?
Yeah.
I played like half of the fourth quarter. It was homecoming, so we had to get dressed.
Oh yeah, my bad. 'Cause that's a very high maintenance night. You know what I mean? Coach's nightmare a lot of time.
A lot of time at all.
Nah.
No.
Golly. Okay, so outside of the Edmond North game, which game has been the most competitive? Which matchup has been the most competitive this season? Which team pushed y'all the furthest besides Edmond North?
Oh.
It was in Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona teams, all the teams.
Yeah.
Every team.
From day one to the last
6.
game. Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all out there for 6 days?
A whole week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We left on Friday and we came back on Thursday.
Was
it almost 2 weeks?
I think I left.
almost
I
a
left
week.
before because they
Almost a
flew.
week.
So whatever, I was
We
there
left on
like
Friday.
a day.
They left
Thursday?
on Thursday.
Yeah.
And we came back on Thursday. Y'all came back on Thursday.
Yeah.
Flat out
So
rock
we-
stars, y'all. Yeah. And I watched the championship game too. I had no business losing that, but it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. We're gonna leave that where it's at. Okay, so of y'all's coaches that y'all played for throughout your career, some of the ones that have been the most influential to you. So when you go back in your memory bank, who are some of those names that you can remember?
I'll have to say my dad first.
That's hard.
Coach Corey.
Coach Corey.
So weird saying
I'm
that.
telling you, Coach. Did you always call him Coach Corey, or has it always been Dad?
No,
when
I
he
always
played
call
for
him Dad.
He never tripped on that?
No, but no, people hardly knew that he was my dad, even though I called him that. It was like, oh, that's your dad? Like, yeah. Coach Buggs, most definitely. I mean, he's just like a second dad to me.
Right.
I have to say Coach Tony, when I was younger, when I played for Chalet, he would take me to the gym because he used to, he was off work a lot, so he'll take me into Leah to go shoot. And then also Coach Rick. He impacted me a lot. He wasn't on my head as much as he was on Ravens, but he definitely made sure that we was, straight. So
I like it.
yeah.
Shout out to them. What do you say, Micah?
Me, definitely both of their dads. But for me, Coach Jim, not this Coach Jim, but
Right.
I played for him for AAU, and then Coach Woods.
I'd say my dad, my stepdad, and also Coach Corey. Coach Corey did take me in like his, another daughter. And then they just pushed me a lot. And then, like I feel like and then also my my first AAU coaches from Lady Fire. I feel like I just had to give credit to them because that's where I started, and they just pushed me, and now just seeing their daughter Modesty like just doing stuff like we dreamed about and talked about growing up is crazy. So
I gotta say one more.
Go for it.
Coach Meach. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is the reason why my shot has gotten
amen.
better.
That
So
one.
I had to make sure I said that.
that one. He got my shot right.
Oh, so he was the shooting technique.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, let me find
I mean,
out.
his daughter, she was shooting.
Yeah.
Come on now. The gunslinger.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jada. You know what I mean? Okay, so now, outside of one another, your most memorable teammate, if you can think of one. And memorable covers a lot of ground. Whether it was
That's
somebody,
hard.
whether somebody that you didn't like,
I
they
know
got on your
one.
nerves, or they were super funny.
Should I go first?
Yeah.
It sound like
For
you worked
me, I play AAU with her, Kylie. She plays for Choctaw now. Yeah, we play AAU since I think 3 years. Yeah.
Dang, look at that. Okay.
Just one?
No, you don't have to limit it to one.
I had to say when I was
I got so
younger,
many.
like really young, it was definitely you. Like my best friends Jaya and Jasmine, played with them too. And then like when I started getting real competitive, Talia. Me and Talia was like we played, close alike. We looked alike. We just did everything together. So,
Everything was close.
yeah.
What about you, Darianna?
My friend Anaya, she goes to Millwood, but just me and her, like, we go, like, she started, I think, maybe 4th grade. We started playing together, but, like, that goes back to, she goes to Millwood, but my stepdad coached at Millwood at one point in time, and he would take us, like, we used to practice with their high school, like, their high school girls. I forgot. I don't even, just when I was in 4th grade, 3rd grade, like, we used to go practice with their high school team, and, like, we have so many memories together on and off the court. Like, we were literally always together every summer, like, every day. Like, if it was AAU practice or just practice with him, and then, like, we were just always together. But definitely her. We don't talk as much. Like, we don't talk as much now, but definitely growing up, like, she came to the team and was just like, oh, and then now we're just like, oh my gosh, we spend every day of summer with you. So
You've been around a while now. Okay, so your best and your worst in-game moment. You know what I mean? Yeah, like whether somebody hit you with a nice little move, had you skating a little bit, or they blocked your shot, or maybe you did that to somebody else. Your best and worst in-game moment that you can think back to.
That's kind of tough.
Yeah, look at it. Welcome to the court type moment. Like, oh, it's a different level right here. Okay.
Y'all got a lot of best. Y'all can say anything, like when y'all went to AAU, like last year.
Yeah, I have to say that. I couldn't say an exact game. I would have to say like a season, our best.
Okay.
That's when we got with that when we joined the Mavs together from Arkansas, Oklahoma.
Last summer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was the best.
It was tough.
Yeah, y'all was some hogs in the game, yo. And everybody, all the spectators on one court.
That FBC game was so loud. Like,
That was
I
hard.
didn't realize it till somebody. I saw a video of, like, they recorded it, cause like you could hear it. Like, I think my team was calling out stuff, and I'm like, I can't really hear you, but
I see your mouth moving, but I can't hear.
yeah.
And we had no hand signals or nothing.
And we just
All vocal.
Yeah.
Worst?
Well, listen. Here's how we'll wrap it up. Okay.
I remember the worst.
Got 2 more things I want to throw at y'all. All right. So, how gratifying is it, particularly in the case of the both of you, and you chime in on this one too, to be signed, sealed, and delivered already? All right, and now you can just go through the last of your high school season. What's that like?
It's good. For me, it was a lot. I did have a lot of people from the jump, so it was a lot on me. And honestly, I knew I was gonna get to sign one day, but the fact that it was so, like, from day one, like, the calls were crazy. September 1st, the junior year, like, I had to set a schedule for so many coaches, like 15 minutes. I think I was talking to 4 coaches a day. So, just from day one and talking to all those people to, like, signing, it's awesome because it takes a lot off my shoulders to know, like, okay, you're here, you're set in stone. But, like, it's also, like, when I did sign, like, I'm signed, like, oh my God, like, paid for, like, free, like,
Yeah.
I'm going here for free, and that was like
No
the
debt.
best. No debt.
And just for the
So-
record, for those who don't know who this is, you're going to Baylor.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You good. But it's just I'm happy I got there, honestly, for me. And the visits and stuff. I went to a lot of good schools, but to sign is like crazy, but it's also good. Like I did it, and I think it also takes a lot of pressure off of me during the season because it's like I can just focus. Like our main focus right now is state, so it just helps me like focus more. Like, okay, you got that out the way, now it's really time to focus. You know. So.
What about you, Micah? Talk to me.
Me, I'm still going through the process, but just having them coaches, like D1 coaches, actually talk to you, like you dream about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just crazy for me.
Mm-hmm. Is it still flattering to you? Because in my mind, I've never gone through it on the level that y'all have, so this is just my imagination talking. Mm-hmm. In my mind, it seems like it would go from flattering at one point to exhausting. Where you at on that scale?
Exhausting, probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. But, hey, they want you, though. Somebody
Yeah.
wants you. What about you? Because you made your decision
Yeah.
a little earlier than you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so talk to me.
Mine wasn't as overwhelming as hers, but
Okay.
I mean, going through my recruitment process, I was definitely grateful, especially being like 5'4", small, like to be able to even get D1 calls.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just so happy about that. Like talking to them, like I was super grateful about it. But it isn't the easiest thing, regardless how much you dream about it. Once you get here, you get a little like exhausted. But I don't feel like I ever really got there. So when I made my decision, it took a lot of pressure off of me. Even after I made my decision, I got like a lot more interest. Like this was like Power 5 school, so I had decommitted and opened my options up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And after talking to them, I was just like, yeah, Stephen F. Austin is for me. So after I committed again, it felt good. Like just to be able to focus on you and know you got somewhere to go. And not only that, like you are the priority at that school.
Yeah.
It feels good.
The decommitment. You had to make that call yourself, right?
Yeah.
How difficult was that?
It was hard because I really liked that school. I mean, the school I'm going to still.
Yeah, for sure. It ended like it was supposed to.
Yeah. I think it was hard. It was hard telling him, but he definitely did understand. Because with COVID, I feel like none of us got a fair shot at recruitment for real, like really.
Mm-hmm.
So I just I needed to do that to make sure that I knew the decision that I had picked was like legit. And doing that made me like 1,000% committed. So, yeah.
I love it. Here's how we wrap it up. We get y'all up out of here. This is my all due disrespect segment, okay? And so where I'm coming from with that is I want you to go back in the archives, right? And I know y'all don't do too much losing, but you think back to an opponent, whether it was AAU, high school ball, at any level, a team that beat you that had no business beating you. And if you could run it back, you would go right back to that game right now and play it over.
I didn't think about that.
Did you say Millwood?
Yeah, 10th grade,
what
10th
was
grade
that?
year.
2019-20?
I don't even know.
Yeah, that's right. Like right
Tenth
before the
grade
COVID.
year.
Yes, and we were the last game. They put us to the last game. They switched the boys to the
I
first
remember
game.
that. I was coaching in Millwood.
Very, very tough team.
Yeah.
But we should have won that game.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean.
So
they
y'all
deserve
agreed,
it.
the same game.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a couple games.
And
I
Fort
didn't run
Gibson.
back. Fort Gibson.
AAU, that one team, I don't even remember.
New Heights.
Man, we had no business, man.
Elgin.
Elgin.
Anadarko. It's
Anadarko.
Well, I want to see Anadarko.
I want
See
to
them
go back
again.
to that one.
But they
Man.
don't even got the same team no more. So they don't
But
even
if they
hit
had
as
the
hard.
same team,
But
Same team with ice.
Yeah.
Like,
It'd been way different.
way different.
it would have been a good game, though, but
we don't feel like we should have lost anybody.
yeah.
Of course.
So that's why I feel like every team we lose to, we gonna say it's
Yeah.
that team.
I'm gonna tell you what's so wild is like y'all got way more bright moments in your past than the dark ones. But the dark ones, they at the front of your mind. Like it's hard to let them go. But listen, I'm rooting for y'all. Much love, much respect, well wishes moving forward. I'm gonna be watching the show as a spectator, and I wanna see if y'all gonna do what you set out to do. All right,
You ready?
we out of here.
Thank you. Thank you.